No, it is really good. All ready?
Yep.
You.
Hey guys, Matt here. We are back for another steak battle video. We have the main people that made the Des Moines Challenge happen. We have Tannatt, the tournament director. We have Amanda Beery, the president of the Des Moines Metro Disc Golf Club. And we have Keegan Reed. I actually don't know what Keegan Reed did.
He was also an assistant tournament
I
director.
think he's just a bum.
He does whatever we ask him to do.
Keegan is the man. If you don't know Keegan, you need to get to know him. So what we have is Steak Battle Season 6, Episode 9.
Wow.
We have 4 steaks here. So apparently, I think people don't realize, I've been watching some of the comments, they don't actually understand what steak battles are. They just see who was on it. So what we have is we have 4 steaks. This is going to be steak 1, steak 2, steak 3, and steak 4. We're going to try out all 4 steaks. They each have a different seasoning. And as we try out the steaks, I'll just ask questions in between each steak. And then at the end, we will determine which steak seasoning we like the best. And then I will reveal to you guys which one is which. So without further ado, let's dive into steak 1 right here.
Oh, yeah.
So Ty, this was, what is this, the 3rd year?
Fourth.
4th year.
I'm taking notes.
Of running the challenge. What was some of the feedback that you've gotten from the pros this year, good and bad?
Great question. I honestly haven't gotten a whole lot of feedback. We are going to put together a survey for all the players, and I do want to get their feedback on everything that goes along with the event, both leading up to the event and during. So I know there's a lot of people always talk about like the course changes and all that stuff. So I think those are both good and bad most of the time. So really appreciate all the work that we put into it, all the work that everybody that helps out puts into the event as far as getting the course ready and making sure that we have offering the barber, offering showers, and just making sure that we're running like a professional event. But yeah, biggest critique, I don't know. I feel like people don't really tell me as much. They kind of tell the other people, and then I kind of get it from them. So I don't have a whole lot of staff next month, and looking forward to hearing from everybody about that stuff.
So you did have some major changes to the process of, one, just deciding to make those changes, and designing and deciding to put in those holes.
Yeah, so every year with the challenge, the goal is to leave a certain amount so that we can go in and make changes. So one of our big donors, I should say, is Doug Shore of Indianola. He's a big Indianola advocate, and he helps us make sure that we keep a certain amount of that money to put back into the course. So every year we're like, which holes need to be changed, which holes need to be better, and we were like, hole 17 and 18 just have to be harder. We need a more brutal finish. We need some more score separation. We need it to come down to the wire, and those players really feel the pressure. And so there's always been that giant set of woods right there by old hole 18, just along hole 18's fairway, and we were just like, how can we use these? Are we going to throw into the woods? Are we going to throw out of the woods? What can we do to make this happen? And basically, the 3 of us, the Indianola crew, and whoever else was interested, we would basically go out there and kind of talk about ideas and how we could utilize that area. And it was really just a team decision. I know our goal when we talked about it originally was we really wanted to utilize the bunker rule that is now no longer a rule at the European Open and Island, or have to rethrow with a penalty. And they got rid of that rule this year, but we were able to utilize. That's where we're really able to use Gannon a lot. Not only for his eye on, how far it should be, where it should be, what the line should be, but also for some of those additional rules like the double drop zone. Yeah, the double drop zone was really Gannon's idea and his base. The real score separation there from not just a bogey or double bogey, but triple bogey, and all of that. But as far as designing it, it was just all just a team thing. What can we do? Who sees what lines, throwing it over and over again, getting some pros out there to throw it over and over again, and just taking everybody's feedback and trying to come up with something great.
Great. All right, so we've had stake 1. Let's go ahead and dive into stake 2 here. So Amanda, you have been on the Des Moines Metro Disc Golf Club board for a while. How long have you been on the board?
Technically be serving my 15th year.
15 years, wow.
But I started, at the bottom. I started as the secretary, just keeping notes and learning everything that I could from the great people that we have here around. I mean, we've always done it great in Iowa, not just the 515, Iowa in general. So got to learn from some of the best, and keep making it bigger and better.
So what would you say would you feel like other than like say the Des Moines Challenge is your biggest accomplishment?
Biggest accomplishment for me, that I guess to be lineup steps, you have to establish contact and all of that with the entities, the places where your courses actually are, because they don't have time or money to manage those parks. So if you want them, we want to see them, and we're used to seeing around here. You got to have relationships with all those entities, and it's a lot. I probably spend 20-25 hours average a week having to go to the parks, all the new stuff that comes along, directing people in the right direction. Nonprofit back, so we got that 501(c) status back, which allows us to do bigger and better things with the challenge. Work with West Des Moines, Army Corps, DNR, Indian. A little bit of everything, I guess.
What are some initiatives that you want to lead for the future of the club?
Progress. It's just keep moving forward, trying to get it more schools involved and keep growing it. Just like I said, there's some pretty big shoes to fill in this area between Becky Zalek and the Reddings and Juliana, and they're big shoes to fill. And without Ty, I wouldn't have made mine. Mine was to bring the best and the biggest back, because you're never going to do that again because they don't play Worlds together. So we did that. That goal's accomplished.
Right. So we've had stake 1 and stake 2. Let's go ahead and dive in. 3 over here. Keegan, you really have
that's rough.
A mentality of really wanting to just help and serve the community, and not even just in disc golf. You've helped out with, your local parks. I think you adopt a highway, you playgrounds. You've helped me with my events, obviously. Where do you think this mentality of giving comes from?
Oof, that's a good question.
Great question.
My youth, send my mom giving back. She always worked at the as a nurse, and then worked at primary health care, and she always just was an advocate of making sure that we gave back to our community. things that need to be done. I've always been prideful in the things that I do. And so I just always try to put my best effort out there and fill in when I can.
He's the 150% guy, not the 100% guy. Like, all.
Yeah, he's definitely the type of guy where, like, you ask, he'll do it and do it right.
And
you don't
probably
have to
go
worry about
above
it.
and beyond. Because
Yeah,
he saw something else.
If I can, if I can just say real quick,
Oh.
there would be multiple days where we would all kind of text a lot, over the last 3 months leading up to the challenge. And I mean, just randomly, Keegan would be like, yeah, I'm at Pickard right now doing what, it was like, I had no clue he was going to be there. He would go out of his way. I mean, he lives in Polk City, so it's 45-minute drive, depending on how fast you drive. And,
I mean, to Pickard,
What
I bet
vehicle?
that's close to an hour.
Yeah.
We got down to about a 45 minute turnaround time.
So, I mean, the guy just goes out of his way beyond, again and again and again, and he doesn't ask for any credit, but he deserves a world of credit. So, thank you, Keegan. Seriously.
I'm happy to do it.
So we've had steak 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and dive into steak 4 over here.
I got the one I was eyeing every time.
Nobody grabbed it, like,
That's cute.
mine.
So with all of you guys here and all of you guys part of the challenge, what is probably something like, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
Mine's easy. Just trusting our staff, our volunteers, like those guys. Again, they come through. They're clutch. Like, you may see a few moments of like panic, but there's somebody. You can turn around and you can find somebody willing to run out and do what they need to do. For me, that's just pride. Like, nobody on the outside sees anything if there's anything but good. So that's like the best. I couldn't ask for more.
We have a very knowledgeable staff, and now that they've been doing this specific event too, for the past 3 years, they can just hammer out anything at any time. So it's very easy to trust them too. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's how smooth it felt. Like it wasn't easy this year, but everything ran. An issue arose, we were able to tackle it right away and without a whole lot of panic. We knew how to handle high pressure situations after all of the trials and tribulations we've had the last few years.
We've proven it, and now we like start to believe it. Actually, you start to go, okay, yeah. I mean, like you and Michael just putting hole 12 back together. I mean, that was half a hole after the rain in Stober. So you guys
and the Myers.
there's a bunch of
and
there's a
there
bunch.
was a ton. Like Ike Sincati was out there.
Yeah.
The names could go on. So
Other than like say the weather, what do you guys have any crazy stories from the weekend?
Well, hold on. I just want to say my favorite part was the 3 days. Like when we got off the course and Anthony was done, I was ecstatic because we had one small delay. It was perfect before play started on Sunday, and I can't tell you how alleviating that was for me and all of them. To just be able to not like worry, we finally didn't have to worry about the weather, and that was
Each division got
huge.
all 3 rounds in.
Yeah, and they got to play, and we got to see how the course played out in full over 3 rounds in 3 days, where people weren't playing 2 rounds a day or 2 rounds in total. So it was great to actually see them play.
no starting and stopping.
Yeah.
Like there was just that little bit in the morning, but they didn't have to start and stop and come off.
Yeah.
None of that. It was just go and come back.
But yeah, the crazy story. Did you see the video of the cows on hole 10?
Oh, I heard about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, was that Saturday or Friday morning?
That was Friday morning.
Friday morning, there were I don't know what do you call them, a group? What do you
A
call
herd?
it? A herd of cows. A herd of cows going across coming out
Out of the creek of hole 10.
Yeah, out of the creek of hole 10, which
Jamie
I've never.
Jamie Bradley saw him, and he had to coerce him up the fairway and out the little.
I think
path
this
over
was
to
the
the
year
pasture.
of the animals. They
Yeah.
had Ricky the raccoon.
Yeah, raccoon.
Like, I mean, this was the year of the animals. I
Dog
think
barking
dogs.
on 7 and 8.
Yeah.
The raccoon was crazy. I mean, especially on the last day, just
Oh,
hanging
like
out.
the family of raccoons.
Yeah, it was just the raccoon was right there, and Adam Hammis is throwing his upshot on hole 17, and like trying to get him to move, and the raccoon just didn't care.
It feeds off that bush, which is now a tree. So then Adam's feeding it mulberries. I'm like, and you wonder why it's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. The year of the animals.
Do next year.
That's a great question. So we want to. I think there's a couple goals. Obviously, they kind of they're on a scale of what we can do and what we can't do. That's always the biggest hurdle, right? Is
How do you finance it?
Yeah, how do you finance it? How do you find time? I mean, we all have families. A lot of the people that help out have families, so that's difficult. But we want to cement T-pad hole 5 and hole 7 for MPO so that we no longer have to worry about the turf. I think that would help out a lot for the tournament, but also just in general. We want to get T signs out there for the course so that people can play both the gold and the red baskets at all times and not be confused. So that more tournaments can be held out there from various directors and whatnot. I know it's I would not do it myself. Worst thing was the flex start. I'm never doing that again. I don't know how you guys do that.
Yeah, way to screw me up.
I hated that. That was not a good idea. So sorry.
He did not look very happy when I rolled in that, but he's like, ugh. But I think the people that played it enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Long round.
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
But I mean, I think working with the city to maybe get a fountain out there. I mean, we have longer term goals with the city to get some sort of permanent structure on hole 5 that people can use around the year to have like parties or picnics.
Another pavilion.
But also to shelter
amphitheater.
the hive, and then put in a fountain to make that a viable pond so people can go fish and take their paddleboard or canoe or whatever out there and utilize that pond for other things than disc golf. So those are a couple goals. I know I personally really want to look into more grants. There's a lot of grants that we can utilize for the event and for advertising and marketing that we just haven't had the time to look into. So now that we're really building this team and I'm able to pass off a little more of the stuff to other people, like that's one thing that can help us raise money for the event, for the club, for the city, for anything we're trying to do. And one of the things that we're doing is helping out at Ewing with some of the money that we've raised from the event. We're going to be putting in the new holes there. The club is, so I know you guys helped out with that. And I'm really looking forward to having some new holes out there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, so we've had all 4 stakes. This was stake 1, stake 2, stake 3, and stake 4. Keegan, we'll start with you at the end. What was your favorite stakes, kind of in order?
Oh man, I'm gonna go 4, 1, 3, 2.
4, 1, 3, 2. All right, Amanda, how about you?
So I'm bouncing between 4
that
and
happens.
1. I really like 1, but it's a little salty. I'm probably gonna go 4, 1, 3, 2.
4,
2,
1.
I didn't.
So the same.
2 has like a bitter taste to me or something.
No,
The same order
Sweet.
as Keegan.
Really? So you guys like?
We like the same, yeah.
4, 1,
I was
3,
torn
2.
a little bit. I really like that one, but it's a lot more salty, which is great. It's great profile. It's just a lot.
So Ty,
Okay.
you've been taking notes.
I know
He's
So
a
for
man
your phone's
here.
about to die, so you're not going to see your notes.
and I didn't take good notes, and I think number 2 is the ultimate steak and roast rub.
Oh,
so
he's trying to figure out.
I'm gonna go 2, 3, 4, 1.
2?
2, 3, 4, 1.
I don't know.
So 1 was your least favorite.
Well, not really. I
don't think any of them were bad.
no,
None of them were
None of them
bad.
are bad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Like, I could eat all these.
I would actually say, in my opinion, 1 of them was bad for me, but I didn't like 3, actually. That was probably my least favorite. But anyway, so 2 of these steak seasonings were actually made by people that help out with the Des Moines Challenge.
know.
So steak seasoning number
Never tasted
1
this.
is this one, a steak blend, given to me by Adams and Cotty a couple years ago. I think last year.
That one had a good flavor.
Yeah. It was saltier than I remember it being since the last time I tried it, but it's been a while since I've tried it. Steak 2 was a dash of dingus that he also gave me last year to try out.
We'll probably be at
Steak
the
3 was just some steak seasoning I got at Hy-Vee from Fat Boy Barbecue, Hickman's Fat Boy Barbecue, steak rub. And then steak 4 was the ultimate steak and roast
Always
rub.
wins.
You know, I
So 2 out of 3 people loved it. 1 person hated it. And even
but
though
he thought it was that one.
He
He
doesn't
that
know
one.
anything though.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything.
even though he
So
asked me
watching
every
this
other week
all
for
this
some
time,
of this.
I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna like that one." I'm surprised
I
that's the
tasted
one
it.
I like.
So, anyway, this was Steak Battle, episode 9, season 6. I don't know when the next time we'll have one on. I'm going to be gone for a while.
Where are you going?
I got the Titan Open next week. Then I have Ledge Zone. And then I have Am Worlds.
Ooh.
And then who knows what happens after that. So,
Nice.
Thai steak battle guest host. Ty's gonna cook some dry steaks for everybody.
so all right. See you guys next time.